Wow. Okay. That sucks. My camera apparently doesn't work. Brilliant. Bear with me a minute whilst I try and sort this out. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. This isn't great. Oh dear. Give me a couple of seconds. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This isn't going well. That's the microphone. That's the coding display. This is the webcam. Let's see if I can change the properties and pick up my camera. Is that coming up? That's the FaceTime. And then this is Camlink. Come on. Come on. No? Oh. Well, this is weird. It's all plugged in. It's all plugged in. It's just not picking it up. That sucks. This is the woo. I suppose I could use this. I suppose this is the webcam, the internal webcam. Let's just use that for a backup. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. There we go. Hope everybody's well. Okay, today I can turn the camera off now. There we go. Today we're going to be looking at phase 2 of the howtocodewell.net website. Yes, I put this live over the weekend, which is super awesome. This is what we've been working on for yonks and yonks and yonks. So phase 1 is now launched. We can see this is howtocodewell.net. It's actually running on a completely different set of servers. Sorted out all the back end and created all sorts of various different bits and pieces for it. I won't go into any details, but basically it's all up and running. Had a couple of issues, having to move over certain things off of certain servers that I didn't think I would have to, but that's just part and parcel of deployment. Now there are a couple of issues that I have spotted, and what I'm going to do in today's stream is talk about how I'm going to tackle those things and how I'm going to plan the future phases, future releases of this, because we're no longer in sort of a development kind of mode. We're now, this is now live, so we need to obviously take care of it. And what I'm thinking of doing in the various different phases is, because it's only me working on this, because I'm a freelancer, because I've got very limited time doing this, this means that the things that we push out in each deployment needs to be very, very small, like not a huge change, because a huge change will have a huge impact potentially. And it took me probably the best part of a whole weekend to push this live. And I don't want to have to do that for every release, right? Because that's going to be painful. So what I'm thinking is to have smaller features go out, but more often. So I'm thinking maybe have one single sort of like pinnacle feature that gets pushed out, and then some bugs that get fixed around it, I'm thinking. So one of the features that I would like to do for the next release is the fact that when we click on one of these courses, for instance, like that one, for instance, when we actually click on the actual thing, it takes us to the playlist, which is YouTube, which is all well and good, but eventually, obviously, I'm going to have the ability for people to have their own accounts, and they can have their own library of courses that they've gone and seen. And I would like to have an internal player in this. So like a player for, like not a YouTube player, but a player, like they can actually go to the next tutorial in the course, that kind of thing. We did have this running on in staging, and it was like you had a sort of a tutorial window here, and then you had a list of tutorials down the side, and you could click through. That's the main feature I would like to do in this this release, the next release, phase 2. And that's kind of all I want to do. I don't want to, there's so much more that I want to do, but I think to just do it small and steady, I think that's probably the next thing. Also, we've got a fantastic team of beta testers, and I don't want to go, hey, let's go and do a whole regression of everything again. So, I've got to be mindful of the team as well. So, but there's a few bugs. There's a few bugs. And I think probably the best thing to do is go into Jira and actually do a tidy up, because there's this is a little old. This is a little old. What I was doing before the stream was just removing phase 1 from all of these things, because that now doesn't mean anything. We have now created phase 1. Phase 1 is up. So none of this is actually relevant, or none of the phases is relevant. So I'm going to remove those. It's going to be a bit tedious, just going to go through all of these things. And then what I'll do is I'll create a new one for phase 2. I will scope out that thing. But there's tons of things that I want to do. You can see there's loads and loads. And I think I was thinking about this this morning as soon as I got up. Actually, it's like, well, how am I going to plan these phases in the future? This phase, the one that we're doing, is quite sort of it's quite small in the sense that it's just this single feature. But of course, there's going to be features in the future that rely on other features to happen. So, for instance, we can't do user subscriptions unless there's user accounts. We can't do user accounts unless there's a login. We can't do a login until there's the ability to reset the password. All of those things. So what I'm thinking is perhaps there's going to be features that go out specifically to the production, and there's going to be features that only go out to beta, because those features will then, combined, will then come out with a specific epic in terms of Jira. So the epic would be a user subscribing and paying for a subscription and all of that jazz, or something like that. But inside that epic, you would have a number of different user stories around that. So, I'm a user and I want to reset my password. I'm a user and I want to upgrade my subscription. I'm a user and I want to cancel my subscription. That's all those kind of things. But until those little things are out, I can't actually publish the whole thing. And also, I was thinking about testing, because we've done an awful lot of testing on the back end, but we've done very little on the front. So that's something else that I want to probably discuss later, is how we are actually going to be testing the front end, because I certainly want to get tests done before we even get to the dealing with the logins and the account access. Okay, all right. So what I've done is I've removed all of the phases, and I think what I'll do, these are all sprints, and these sprints have tasks in them. I'll leave them as is, and I'll create a new one. Well, these are epics. These are epics down here. I'll create a new epic. Actually, is it an epic? Is it an epic? Or is it a user story? If we think about this feature, this specific feature, I guess the first thing we need to do is, we'll create a sprint. And this sprint, you can see I've created a bunch of them. We'll edit this sprint. We'll call this phase 2. And this will have phase 2 course page. In this sprint, a free user will be able, or after this sprint, a free user will be able to view all the courses. Actually, it's not a course page. It is a tutorial page. After this sprint, a free user will be able to view all the tutorials in a course. All right. Oh, hang on. Typically that didn't actually save. Typically that didn't save. Let me get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. That's got a task in it. I don't know what that's for. Let's get rid of that one above. Okay, let's create a new one. That sucks. Right, let's do it again. Phase 2 tutorial page. Okay. After this sprint, a free user will be able to view the tutorials in a course. Good. Okay. So now we're going to create some issues, and we're also going to add some bugs to it as well. My I don't know what's going on with my network. It seems to be going up and down. The internet here is rubbish. All right, let's have a look. Let's do a user story. This is as a I want to view all the tutorials in a course. Oh, come on. I'm not having a good internet day today. As a free user, I want to view all the tutorials in a course. And this is a user story. Yes, that worked. Good. All right, let's scope this out a wee bit. Okay, so what I need to have, if we go back to here, what I need to have, if I clicked on, say, one of these things, instead of, this is the course landing page, and instead of, and we're still going to have the course landing page, but what I would like to have is when you click on this, you go to another page that has the tutorial in this frame, the list of tutorials in the course here, some spiel about the actual tutorial itself here, and then on this side we're going to have like download the code and all that stuff, but those features aren't going to be available at the moment. That's going to be in the next phase or a future phase. So from here I want to have a page. As a free user, I want to see a page per course that lists and plays all of the tutorials in a course. All right, that's the description. And the label here is going to be UI. It's going to be front end. Nope, we don't have front end apparently. Yes, we do. I thought we did. Cool. I don't think it needs, because we've got the APIs, I don't think we need anything in the CMS or the DB or anything for that. I think those features are done. And what I would like to do now is create some subtasks around this, because there's going to be a bunch of things that I want to some child issues. There might be some existing. No, there isn't. If we had a look at tutorial. Each tutorial should show its duration, page, should list tutorials in a course. That sounds like one thing, doesn't it? HTTP 50. Let's have a look at what that is. If I can. HTTP 50. HTTP 50. HTCW P. Oh, it's marked as done. Okay, yeah, okay. Never mind. Okay, let's just create. So it's tutorial player, tutorial video player. I mean, some of this might already be done, but I think this is done. But we need to have something to verify. So create a tutorial video player. Create list of tutorials. Create tutorial description. Okay, create okay, that sounds good. Don't know what's going on with today's stream. It just seems a bit off, as in like my network. I'm just having a look back at it, like through the thing here. It's very delayed. Never mind. I've got stuff to do, so I need to crack on. Okay, so create a tutorial video player that goes in this goes in sort of this side. Create a list of tutorials that goes this side. And then create a tutorial description which goes sort of here, and then create another section there for the code download. We're also going to create a user subscription upgrade panel. Link to coming soon. Okie dokie. All right, so that's what I want to do here. As a free user, I want to view all the tutorials in a course, right? So we're going to create now some other things, because there's some bugs that I want to tackle. That's the only feature that I would actually like to push in this task, in this release. And in fact, what I kind of need to do is we're going to have another task in here. We're going to have create acceptance tests, and we'll talk about that more soon, I suppose. So the next issue we're going to oh, excuse me. Excuse me. The next issue we're going to look at is we're going to look at some bugs now. So this is live, which is great, and this is the beta version. I'll go to that. Give me a second. Have I gone offline? I think I've gone offline. Right. So there's a number of issues that I spotted. One is that the favicon isn't correct. So we're going to put that in. Things aren't going well today. So replace Favi icon with HTCW icon. That's that issue. There is another weird issue that I wanted to show you, but beta doesn't seem to be. It's because it's a 401. Hang on. Right. This is beta. I don't know why that's it's probably cached or something. This is beta. If I grab that. So this is the beta site. Now, the difference, you can see that the icon here is wrong. So one weird thing, weird thing, that I don't know what's wrong, is that if we go over to here, let's say I go, this is just crazy. If I go to a course, any course, doesn't matter, any page, it doesn't matter. So we're now at howtocodewell.net/course/HTML for beginners. Check this out. If I refresh the page, it takes me straight back to the home page. It's bonkers. It doesn't matter where I am. If I go to, say, Discord, and then refresh the page, it goes straight back to the home page. It's bizarre. Go to pricing, refresh, takes me back. I have no idea why. Don't know. Haven't got a clue. This is beta. All right, so this is the beta site. Exactly the same code. Click on here. Refresh the page. Oh, look, we're back where we were. Go to the Discord. Refresh the page. Problem is fine. You know, there's no problem. Go to pricing. Refresh. Not, you know, very bizarre. Go on to the live site, click on to pricing, and then go to refresh. We go back home. So one thing I'm thinking is potentially this could be because the database is the same. Well, it's a different database on a different server, but the actual data is the same, apart from obviously certain things, credentials and other bits and pieces. They're different, obviously. What else? But the schema is the same. That's what I'm trying to say. The schema is the same. The code is the same in terms of the backend code. The CMS and the API, it's running the same code. That's on beta. The front end code is exactly the same as well. It's using exactly the same code as it is on beta. I pushed everything up to the same level. So the only thing I can think of, which seems a bit bizarre, is, and this is me clutching at straws, is the fact that this is on a subdomain. So beta.howtocodewell.net is on a subdomain, whereas this one isn't. It's just howtocodewell.net. Now, that's me clutching at scrolls, and I don't know if that is a real thing. I wouldn't even know where to start. But it's a serious issue because nothing can actually crawl this site. So it's a excuse me. So it is a serious issue. We're going to put this down into Jira as a priority. So I don't even know what to call it. I guess fix redirection. Of internal links. It's so peculiar. I've never actually seen this before, ever, on any project I've ever done. Code's the same, database schema's the same, API calls are the same, nothing is different across two sites. They're actually running off of the same infrastructure. Well, different servers, but identical in some respects. So the only change is the subdomain. So go to howtocodewell.net/courses. Is it course? I can't remember. We go to, let's pick one out. Let's click on this one. That's the beta site, sorry. Click on that one, grab this, go over to Jira, paste this in. Refresh the page. And notice you are redirected to, let's make sure I get everything right. It's bonkers. I can't wrap my head around it. It's so weird. It must be DNS or something. There's going to be some small little configuration change that I need to set. Okay, all right. There was another bug that I wanted to deal with, and that was the fact that the meta descriptions are wrong. They're all set to the default stuff of Ghost. So we're going to create another task in here, adjust, oops. Adjust meta descriptions. To the default Ghost. Other issues as well, which it's an issue, but I don't know if I'm going to put it in this phase, just because that, in my opinion, is quite a lot of chunk of work. This is going to take a long time to do. This one scares me. I don't know what it is, so I don't know how long it's going to take. This shouldn't be that long to deal with, nor should that. But really, these two are kind of like the important things. If these two sort of, well, they would be great to do. If not, then they're not as high a priority, in my opinion, as these two. This one's big priority, big time. And because I don't know how long this is going to take, I don't know. I don't really want to add anything else to this this sprint. But there are other issues. Certainly, there's other issues. Like, for instance, the rich snippets are all wrong, and other things. The sitemap is wrong, and other things. But not as high a priority as these. So I think what I'll do is I'll bring this, if I can move this up. It's a shame that there is no like move to top button. That would be very, very handy. And also what I'm going to do is just take a look at the backlog itself and just have a little cleanup, a little tidy. I think it's probably worth doing that after every release, because it gives me an opportunity to see, have I duplicated anything? Have I changed my thinking of anything? That kind of stuff. Okay, so I've grouped up some of these tasks, right? We'll take a look at them one by one. So for instance, the account verification. Create a verification entity. So verify, date verified, code sent, expiry date. So this is around when you're when you've created an account. It's making sure that you have verified that your account is there. And therefore you've got a verification page itself. This could have a form or just take the code from the link. The idea being is that I want people to register and log in. I want them to be able to log in and use the system, but I want them to verify themselves. I'm not sure if I want to turn off any functionality unless they're verified, but I think in order to have a full profile, there needs to be some level of verification. Okay, so then create a verification validation endpoint. Create verification as a service. This makes sense. Take this out of the user service. So some of this is already being created in the background. So I think that's fine. Create an API that checks if the user is verified. Yeah, so that's fine. Emails. Send a welcome email from the back end. Create a welcome email. So that's good. That requires some copy for that. Account my profile. Okay, create an API endpoint to update user's profile. I mean, all of this requires the user access, right? So this is now going into some bits and pieces like lower down in the phases, or higher up in the phases, I should say. Add email confirmation to form. Excuse me. Log errors with course enrollment. Okay, I'll have to tackle that when I get to it, I think. Stripe web hooks. So there's a bunch of things here that I need to do, and as we've seen on the other ones, on the other streams, Stripe has updated their SDK and has broken the code that I have created because I was using, because they've upgraded their versions. They didn't even deprecate; they just removed functionality, which I need to sort of sort. But Stripe is something that we haven't even played with yet. But so that's all good. I'm going to leave that in for now. Okay, get the code. So this is the thing. This is the button. What I was talking about when we get to this point where you click on here and you can see the tutorial on the left hand side, and you've got the list of tutorials on the right. Below it, I want to have the description here, and then a sort of a button saying get the code, so you can actually get the code for that specific course. And this is what this is all about. So alter the gateway to allow for code downloads, alter the CMS to upload files to S3. So what I would like to do is sort of zip them up, use the CMS as a means of pushing that up to S3. Alter the front end to show download button. What's that? If the user is a monthly, yearly user. Yeah, so free users won't be able to get this functionality. And the way I'm thinking of maybe pushing this out and rolling this out is just to do free users first. So I'll do a whole pass of all of these issues, but in the mindset of a free user. And then I'll add functionality. So for instance, there'll always be a get the code button, but it won't do anything unless there is the ability for you to actually subscribe and become, a monthly or yearly user. but at least the button is there, and at least the ability in the CMS is there, those kind of things. And then when I go ahead and turn on the subscription, I will go through and change these features, or turn these on in the features. So there we go. Replace button to link to upgrade. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Featured courses. Yeah, so this is important. This is important. This is stuff that I wrestled with myself to take out of the MVP, the first ever phase, simply because like this stuff isn't that difficult, but it was one of those kind of like time things. So this doesn't matter whether what kind of user you're in. It's just a case of creating, like on here, when we get to the homepage, I want to have a series of featured courses. So like I think I had this in the design, but I removed it because of time. Where we've got, I think it's 4 boxes. I think it's 4. Is it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So these are all the courses that I've done externally. So Docker in Motion, hands-on with Python microservices, AWS, and clean coding. And the reason why I've got hard-coded down here is this was my last-ditch attempt to create some sort of hard-coded list here. But then I thought, well, hard-coding this isn't actually quite a good idea. So what I'm thinking is to create an API that gets these courses that are featured courses. That then gives me the flexibility of adding new featured courses and actually turning this into a carousel rather than excuse me. I went for a run last night. You could tell I've got my running gear. My desk is so messy. My AirPods and everything. So I'm a bit croaky this morning because when you run and you haven't ran for a while, sort of everything gets lifted. And then you lay down for 8 hours, or in my case 6. And then you get up and have your first tea and you're all groggy. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so what I would like is for this to be a carousel. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is actually change this a bit. So what I'm going to do here is edit the sprint here, featured courses carousel. That's what we're going to do. Create a carousel on the home page of featured courses. These courses will be driven by an API. All right. Which means that we're not going to hard code these. So I'm going to just go in and tidy this up because that's not. And in fact, if I think about it, well, this really isn't the best way of doing it. So what we'll do here is we'll create one task, so courses, add courses, and we'll create sort of a list of courses in here. So we've got Docker in Motion. We've got hands-on Python microservices. We've got AWS S3 course, and we've got master Python. So they're going to be like the first 4 that comes in. And I think what I'll do is I'll create we need to create an API to pull out courses to get external featured courses. We also need to actually create the carousel itself. I can't spell carousel, so I'm gonna click on Edit Sprint. I'm gonna just copy that into my clipboard because I cannot spell that for the life of me. So obviously this is Gatsby React, so we need to create a component for that. So really that needs to happen first. Then the API, then this, then we're going to add it to the carousel. Let's get rid of the camel casing here, or the not the camel casing, just the casing. I think so. This will have forward and back buttons, swipe on mobile, that would be nice. Now on mobile there's going to be obviously just the one course. If we look at this, for instance, if I brought that back into well, that's probably not a great. Let's get back to Chrome a minute. Let's do View Developer DevTools, and then click on this one here, and then go to, say, an iPhone 6. Change that to be 100%. Right. So if you think of like the carousel, what I'm thinking is like just one course here, and you would swipe it left or right. So it would have a different background to sort of denote that this is a ribbon of stuff. And then you would do left and right here. But on the actual when it's not mobile, when it's like this, I kind of want 3, I suppose. We'll do 3 courses, and then a left and a right, which means that there's going to be obviously one left because there's 4, not 3. But it means that we're going to have to add some more courses to this, which is fine because we can just pluck a course out from one of these things, which is okay. You know, I'm cool with that. Hardcode, yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one. Oops, not that one. This one. I'm sure there's going to be other issues to deal with when we get to this. I'm sure. But it's going to be one of those things. Like, it'll be lovely when this is done. But there's bigger fish to fry. Because I've moved it out the MVP, in my head it doesn't hold as much priority as it used to. Which is going to, you know, it's not great because the courses themselves go off to, you know, things like Manning publications and Pack publications and all of that stuff. But just in the grand scheme of things, it's important in the future, but not right now. Not in relation to the other bits that I need to do. Okay, so DevOps. There's 10 issues in here. What's that all about? Okay, lockdown staging IP to traffic. That's done. Reduce the size of API Docker image. That's done. All right, I think what I'll do is I'll go through create staging. A lot of this is done, to be honest. Okay, so that is done. Let's just go through this. That's done. That's done. Lockdown staging API traffic. That's done. Reduce the size of the Docker image. That's done. Did a big piece of work on that. Server time is incorrect. That is still to do. I still need to do that. I put how to code well at the top of the supplier list. I don't know why this is in DevOps, and apparently it's in progress, and I can't remember doing it, so I'm going to leave it. Fix CMS homepage redirection. Oh, right, okay, that's the CMS. Okay, no, that still needs to happen. Create a DB backup script for staging. That was done ages ago. Reduce the size of the node base. That was done a long time ago. Create a staging deployment script. Wow, that was done months ago. Add all resources. Yeah, that's all done. Lockdown API to Office IP. Yeah, that's done. And remove web debug toolbar from staging. Yep, that's done as well. Wow. All right, so in fact, it's just the server time is incorrect. I'm going to take this out. Is there any way I can... So we've got add flag, add parent, copy issue, move to, delete. Is there any way I can just move to the bottom of the backlog? There we go. And same with this one. And the same with this one. All right, so that's all done, and I'm going to just delete the sprint. There we go, it's done. Okay, we've got a sprint just for tests. This is weird. What's all this about? Apparently this has linked those user stories, and we've got create API test for logout, error when enrolling. I don't really know what this is all about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of this to the bottom of backlog, and then we'll deal with that on a case by case. And we'll get rid of this. Okay. All right. So, okay, that's interesting. Now we've got featured courses and featured courses carousel. So where was my head when I was doing this? Why is this all being... Oh, hang on. Am I moving everything down one when I do this? Because we now have all of those as well. Let's... I think I am. What's in here? Stripe breaking change. Okay, that needs to come out of the... Move to the bottom of the backlog, which is here. 74 tasks. We're going to get rid of this one. Password reset 2. What's this about? Not sure. What's that one about? Create a security pages for... Okay, I'm going to move that to the bottom of the backlog as well. And we'll get rid of this sprint. I think I got a little bit too happy when I started planning these sprints. I was like, ooh, look. So I think my take now is just to create them when I do them, rather than create sprints that could potentially happen in the future. Okay, let's get rid of that. Move this into bottom of the backlog. Because what I should be doing is triaging the backlog rather than bunging them into sprints that don't really make much sense. So I will go through... Right, let's go straight to the top again. Okay, that's what we're doing next. That's what we're doing next. Account verification still, I think, is a good thing. Emails, definitely. Account my profile, yep. Stripe webhooks. get the code, yep, featured courses, and then here, this doesn't make any sense. So I think I think what I need to do, I'm gonna just, I think I think if I was to remove all of these DevOpsy jobs that I've done, because they don't matter, it doesn't matter about this, to be honest. That was just sort of things to do for me. What we can do is combine these two sprints together. Because I'm looking at this thinking that I've actually captured some tasks that kind of relate to that carousel, which I forgot. So for instance, the actual featured course entities and stuff like that. I think both of these things, in fact, I think this featured courses needs to happen before the featured courses carousel. What I didn't realize is that we don't actually have the entity, and we don't have an API, which in fact is what I've defined up here. So we're going to get rid of this because that's dupe. And I guess what I could do is just push this into here. And let's go to edit sprint. Let's grab that. I'm going to delete this. And in here, oops. There we go. That's now my featured courses carousel. So I didn't realize that we didn't have an entity. That's a shame. We have the API. Well, we don't yet, but we have the task. I didn't. I just totally forgot about this. We don't actually have the ability to do this in the CMS yet. Yeah, actually saying that this is a featured course. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. Password resets. I think this is good. I'm going to remove that from there. And then we've got the backlog, basically my placeholder. So this one is a Stripe thing. I'm going to move this into that Stripe jobby. So can we do that? Can we move? Copy issue link, add flag, add parent, move to, oh, here we go, Stripe webhooks. There we go. Okay. So let's go through this a minute. Create API endpoint that returns users viewed courses. Yep. So that goes course description, yeah. Create billing pages. RSS for the blog, definitely. I also want to have an RSS for the podcast as well, because wouldn't it be nice if the homepage. This is why I called this portal. This is why I've called this project the portal, because the How to Code Well portal. Because wouldn't it be nice if the homepage, which is just this at the moment, which isn't great, but good for the MVP. But wouldn't it be nice if this was more like a not a sort of kind of looking a little bit like a news site where you've got different pieces of different articles spawning from different sort of sections. The way I think of it is a bit like if we went to the BBC, for instance. So you've got your sort of your main card, I suppose, and you've got cards on the left and right, and then you've got different sort of top stories and all sorts of other things, different headlines. Then you've got sport headlines, and then you've got other bits and pieces. So what I was thinking is kind of like almost similar in the sense of we would have sort of latest course or something here, then you would have a feed of blog articles. Then you would down here you would have a feed of podcast things, and they would all take you to various different. So this homepage would be very dynamic, rather than just a list of courses. It would be very, very dynamic, and the courses page itself, which is very similar, in fact, to the homepage at the moment, would be a courses catalog. This would be the catalog of courses. So you would have on the homepage, you would have a link saying, view all courses or go to course catalog, which would take you to here. And then you would have, say, the top couple of courses. Now, another issue that is known is the fact that none of this is in any kind of logical order. What I would love in the future is to have some ability to search. So you would have, find all PHP courses, find all courses in HTML, find all courses, what's the latest course, what's the oldest course, have some way of filtering. I need to work out what the shape of that is going to be, but that would be lovely to do here. And also have the ability to tag the courses by perhaps, say, the language, so PHP, HTML, Docker. So when we actually get to the blog, when you're clicking on a blog article, let's say for instance this one, how to upgrade a legacy PHP web app website, we would have relevant courses in a sort of almost a carousel that relate to the tags that were tagged on this blog article. Now, talking specifically about the blog articles, at the moment there's a lot of work that I need to do, around this, because so these are very old articles that I need to. Some of them have been reworded, retyped. Other ones, as the one you've just seen, which I think was this one, I need to add some bits and pieces. That's just ridiculous for a blog article. It's just 2 lines of text. So I do need to spend some time and actually do some copy. Have I got anything in here? Yeah, a couple of things, nothing massive, but I would like to go back through these and actually start creating some writing myself. Whether I'll go and sort of, because there's like 5 pages, whether I'll backfill all of this stuff, or whether I'll just go, right, from now on, whenever I'm creating a blog article, it needs to be like this. And not all blog articles will have videos, I don't think. Or if they do, they might be in a different format. So instead of just having this sort of like massive, who knows? Another thing that I want to do in the future, I won't click it yet because this will screw everything up, but the live thing, when you click on live, let's do it. So when we click on live, this will now come up with the live. This will now come up with the live. This will now come up. Right, but what I'm thinking, let's get rid of that. What I'm thinking is underneath the live section, we would have a list of previous live streams, and we would use, say, the YouTube API or the Twitch API to pull back the previous VODs and sort of like, put them down, in this kind of sort of grid, I suppose, but underneath the live. Okay, right, let's go back to this. This is what I want to be working on. As a free user, I want to view the tutorials, all the tutorials in a course. Let's see what is involved in actually getting that up. Let's bring up, because we haven't done any code today. Something that I've just thought, we're going to need to create a feature flag. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just do it in here as a child issue. And the reason why I want to create the feature flag is that obviously this is going to be live at some point on the beta site, but it won't be live on production. So it's a way of me to turning off certain features. I suppose that's probably the first thing we can deal with. So let's just get rid of that for a second. Let's load up Phpstorm. Where are we at with this? This is on the API. That's the wrong project. We want to load up Portal. This window, please. All right, let's get rid of all of this. Let's go into, we're on beta. I suppose let's work in develop. Let's check that out. Let's just make sure, because I did make some changes. There were so many little small issues that I had to fix in order to get it up. Unfortunately, as you can see, 12. Let me just make sure that this is all wired up and straight. So origin beta, origin develop. Let's also see if we can. What else do we have that can be merged? Nothing. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we're where we were. So these feature flags. Can I show that? Yeah. Yeah, okay, so these feature flags, they're like, oh, they're not even there. They are, is it on, I can't remember how I've done them. Give me a second whilst I have a look. I did them like an array. It was like a comma-separated list that turned into an array. I can't remember how I've done that. Nope. Nope. My mind's gone blank. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. All right. So user underscore login underscore pricing underscore account underscore checkout. We'll create another one and we'll call this underscore, and it was done by underscores. We'll call this tutorials. There we go. And in bring that up there. There was another one which was, there was something that I needed to, because it's been such a long time since I've done this. Was it a component? Was it in common? Let me just see. Feature flag. Got a whole class for it. There we go. Excellent. All right, I'm going to create a new branch. We're going to call this features and tutorials. And we've added that on as a feature. Hang on, Hellfire. Still trying to wrap my brain around this. So we've got Gatsby feature flags. Oh, they're off. Okay. Gotcha. So that's when they're off. I see. Okay, so when we go to pages. And it's the course page. Okay, I can show you this. It's fine. Course card. Here we have if is logged in, then we go to return course and then slug, so that's only if you're logged in. Oh wait, did I take the opinion that we are going to only do this if you're logged in? Yes. Yes. Yes, because a free user needs to be logged in. Yes. Yes. No, that's correct. So this actually isn't the thing to do. That sucks. Okay, we need to rethink this. Where I've been saying when you click on here and then you click onto the actual page where you can see the tutorial. And you can see the list of tutorials, and you can see the description and download the code and all of this stuff. This will only work if you are a free user, and a free user still needs to log in. That's what I was. Yeah. Okay. So that's. So this whole task can't really happen until we have the user management. Which is a bit sucky. I thought I was able to jump onto this. Okay, fine. Never mind. Let's think about other things that we can do. I mean, I suppose I could. It kind of all centers around that user login. And I kind of want to have a couple of phases of deployment before we unleash that. There's so much stuff in here, like account verification and stuff, and the actual emails that I need to create, and the profiles and blah 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 before any of that happens. Right. Okay, what we could, I suppose, deal with the carousel. That's something that we could do. Or we could do that. Yeah, that featured carousel. We could do that, I guess. But looking at the tasks, it's quite involved. There's quite a lot here to do with that, and I'm not sure. Like if we don't get this done by the end of the year, I don't think it's going to be too much of a issue. The thing that I really want to push is the user side of this. So, okay, let's think. We can't do this. We're going to have to look at account verifications or the ability to log in, which is kind of half built at the moment. So maybe we should do that first. That kind of makes sense. So what I'm going to do, bring this down here. I'm going to just turn on that feature, which is the user stuff. So bear with me a second and I'll just have a little look. It is in it's login and user. All right, and then let's get to the code itself. No, not terminal. iTerm. Thank you. Okay, and then let's do a make install. Yeah, local dev. Of course, I need to do nvm. One day I'll sort that. I'll put it as some form of RC file. Okay. Okay, so this is the local version, and let's do login. So now you can see that the login page is working, and there's join. Although I probably need to turn that on. Yeah, I do need to turn that on. Okay, so login. So when we get to courses, we click on a course. Yeah, it's still going to go to the YouTube stuff. See, weirdly, when I refresh the page, that's fine. Nah. So, you know, the code, it's not a code issue. Anyway, so we can do a login now. Don't know if that actually worked. No, it didn't. Yeah, so there's a number of issues. We probably need to put this down in does not match the redirection. Yeah, so we'll probably need to just work through some of these issues, I guess. Let's just create that. And I think, let's try that. There we go. So we've we did log in there, but because I've got this turned off to be coming soon, I'm going to need to adjust that, aren't I? So take out the account section, save that, and then go to, I'm going to have to rebuild the site again because I've changed the environment variables. Okay, let's go back one. Let's log out. Let's log back in. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so this is the dashboard. It's turned off on the live site because there's so many things that I need to do. I guess what we could do is we could, I guess what I could do, right, I could build out the courses section as we were discussing earlier. And I could give the beta testers their own accounts to test with, and I could still turn this off on live and turn it on dev. I could do that. That's probably the best thing to do, I think. So here we can see that the some of the courses that I've already registered to my account. So these are features that are not yet available, but they have been worked through. There's going to be a number of things that we need to alter and change. So for instance, like my profile, this isn't set up yet to actually, update. The My Courses needs to return a grid of the courses that we have. So that's not right. My security we haven't done anything with that either. So in terms of user functionality, you can log in, you can register, and you can log out. I need to sort that out. Why is that on join now? Why is that not working? If we go to be the register page, where are we? Okay, for some reason it's going to the if feature is enabled account. Aha. Okay, yes. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to change account, aren't I? Pricing. Oh wait, hang on. That doesn't make sense. Is enabled account. If isn't enabled account. Is that right? That doesn't make sense. I don't think I've got that. I've done that right. If isn't available, login, redirect. Okay. Register. If isn't, get redirect link. That doesn't seem right because let's just comment that out for a second. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, so it is enabled, but then we redirect to pricing page. But the pricing page isn't enabled, so then it redirects to the coming soon page. I gotcha. Oh dear. Okay. How am I going to work that through? I guess what we would do in this instance is we would open up the pricing page. But the thing is, with the pricing page, I don't want them to select the monthly or yearly, just the free account. So I need to think about that. Somehow. I can see that this is going away from the origins of the Jira stuff that we were just dealing with. So I think what I'm going to do is this tutorial page will probably have to wait in the wings whilst we tidy up all of the other bits and pieces that we're dealing with. If we logged in quickly. What do we want to get to? What do we want to do? Is there anything in here that we want to fix and tidy up? Maybe we should just work on this section. Before we charge ahead to the courses. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should look at this as the second phase, like the whole thing. Like for instance, logging in, logging out. The thing is, nobody's going to be able to start a course unless they actually start a course, and they can't start a course because I've turned that feature off, so that so that's not actually going to work. Oh dear. Too many critical path things going on here. No, let's go back to what we were planning and deal with the tutorials. So let me take a look at all I've done is I've just disabled or enabled certain features. I've just turned them on, and we want to get to a point where we can click on an actual tutorial course and see the tutorial. So we need to log in. So first up, we need to register, right? Which means that we do need to have the pricing page enabled. So I'm going to just quickly enable that, and then have a look at that. And then I think what I'll do is I'll go through and use this as sort of a placeholder to put in any bugs that I find, because I'm probably going to find a bunch of them, and then I'm going to work through that. And hopefully by Thursday, I will have this a little bit more sort of scoped out a little bit. But that's kind of the end goal, this one here. Yeah. It's been a bit of a weird stream. I do apologize. My network's dropped a bit. I've been going backwards and forwards as I've been thinking, and finding other bugs and other issues and certain bits and pieces like that. But I need to shoot off because it's I'm a freelancer and I need to work on other projects and other things. So thank you ever so much, everybody, for watching and bearing with me over this weird stream. Happy coding, everybody. I'll see you again soon. Cheers. Bye.